It always starts small. A sound you can't place, a flicker of movement your brain swears shouldn't be there. And then suddenly, you're standing face to face with something that does not fit into the world you thought you knew. Tonight, you're getting 3 encounters that were never meant to be understood. 3 cases where the line between normal and impossible ripped open, and the people involved were left with a single thought. No one will ever believe me. But you're here, so make up your own mind. Let's begin. Story 1. The bobcat that wasn't a bobcat. Mike had been fighting wildfires for 20 years. Tough guy. Rational. The kind of person who doesn't scare easily, not even when the forest is burning around him. But the forest in central Idaho was quiet that day. Too quiet. And Mike was riding alone down a forgotten logging road on an ATV when something darted into the path ahead. A bobcat. Except, it didn't behave like one. Instead of bolting, the thing stared him down, its shoulders hunched, its mouth stretched open wider than seemed possible, and then it screamed. Not an animal scream, not a growl, a human scream, raw, wounded, furious. Mike froze. Every instinct told him to back up. But before he could, the animal sprinted up a tree, perched over the road, and stared at him like it was waiting for something. He drove under it anyway, stared up at it the whole time. It didn't blink. A half-mile later, he saw the cabin. It shouldn't have been there. Federal land, no structures allowed, no roads leading to it. The cabin looked dead, boarded, abandoned, but the door wasn't boarded, and where the doorknob should have been, someone had threaded a brand new metal chain through the hole, looped around a log. Fresh, recent. He leaned down, flashlight ready, and peeked through the empty doorknob hole. Furniture, upside down, every piece placed wrong, stacked wrong. Positioned like someone wanted the room to feel off. Mike's stomach dropped. He backed away. Didn't turn around. Just kept stepping backward, like prey leaving a predator's den. He made it to the road, started the ATV, and that's when he saw her. A woman, standing in the same spot the bobcat had stood earlier. Barefoot, nightgown shredded, hair hanging forward so he couldn't see her face. She didn't move, just watched him. He couldn't breathe. Then her mouth opened, and the same bobcat scream tore out of her. Mike floored the ATV. As he flew past, the woman ran, not walked, ran to the same tree the bobcat had climbed. She climbed it too, effortless, fast, and perched on the same branch, watching him leave. Mike never went back. The fire crews didn't investigate. Locals later told him the legend. A woman once lived alone in those woods. A woman who claimed she could speak to animals. A woman who owned a bobcat. Until something else moved into her body. No one goes near the cabin now, and no one has ever found the woman again. Story 2. The little girl who walked into the woods. This one is harder. In 1953, 3 young sisters were playing around their family's summer cabin near Fox Lake in Ontario. Their parents were packing for a beach day. Calling out, gripping snacks, towels, toys. Normal morning chaos. The youngest, Geraldine, was 5, shy, afraid of the dark. Loved holding her father's hand on every walk. She was playing near the side of the cabin where the adults couldn't see her directly, but they checked every couple minutes. And then one check was too late. She was gone. Not walked off, not wandered, gone. The police, the military, professional trackers, everyone searched. Her footprints were fresh, recent. They led to a small ridge overlooking the lake, then turned around, walked back into the trees, and vanished. Rain washed away everything else. Her father said something that broke the entire search team. She's afraid of the dark. She'd sit down and cry until we found her. But they didn't. Days passed. And then trackers found something else. A single set of prints, huge prints. Far too large for a man, too wide for a bear, too deep for any known animal. They circled the area. They traced Geraldine's trail, and they stopped exactly where she had last stood. 9 days later, they found what was left of her, dragged from a meadow to a lakeshore, clothes untouched, no blood on the fabric, no tearing, no evidence of an animal kill. Whatever ended her life did not kill her the way animals do. Investigators found a flattened patch of grass. Something heavy had lain there. Something that wasn't a deer. Something that didn't walk on hooves. Theories were offered, quietly. A massive predator no one had ever documented. A person too large to be human. Or something that moved through the forest without leaving normal signs. No one knows. No one ever will. But the trackers said one thing confidently. She wasn't alone out there. Story 3. The creatures around the house. The Martin family never wanted to move to Palmyra, Maine. But after Eric injured his back and couldn't work, they didn't have a choice. The house was isolated. No neighbors, no streetlights, just thick forest in every direction. At first, nothing strange happened. Then the woods started going silent. And animals don't go silent unless something bigger is out there. One night, 5 shapes appeared in the field. Large, wolf-like, but wrong. Their legs were too long, their shoulders too high, their heads too round. When the flashlight hit them, they didn't run, they stared back. Then they charged. Eric and his wife sprinted inside, slammed the door, locked everything they could. The house shook when the creatures hit the porch. Footsteps, heavy, deliberate, circled the house again and again, scratching, sniffing. Then thuds on the roof. Like something had climbed up, like something heavy was walking above them, pacing the second-story windows. Eric peeked, just once. A face was pressed against the glass. Not a wolf, not human, something in between. Gray fur, long jaw, yellow eyes that moved like a person's eyes, tracking, calculating. No sound, just breathing. The creatures tried to dig through the siding. Claw marks tore deep into the walls. The door frames split. Windows rattled in their frames. By sunrise, the creatures vanished. The damage was real. Tufts of fur left behind were tested and didn't match wolves, or dogs, or any known species. The Martins moved out within weeks. They never went back.